Come on now, drummer. I want you to tighten it up for me now. Oh, yeah.
Well, I am a producer, but by heart I'm an entertainer. You can be a singer and everything and not know how to entertain. You have to learn how to entertain and get a rapport with the people. In other words, when you entertain, when you're up there watching, they keeping their eyes on you at the same time. But I am a producer. I produce, and I do a little writing, producing, stuff like that. But basically, I'm like what you call an entertainer, not a star. An entertainer, because a lot of stars have hit records, but they don't know how to entertain people. But that's coming from the old school. Well, the first entertainer that I saw was my mother. My mother was, always active in the Baptist church. She never really did, get to be famous like Billie Holiday and everybody, but she always wanted to. And she started having children and everything, and she said, well, I want to be she called it popular star, everything, but she said, now that I'm having these children, she had 7 boys, so she started having children, she knew that she wouldn't be able to make me because she had to take care of us. So she told me one day, she said, maybe you. She, direct at me out of all my other brothers. She told me, said, maybe you will be the star that I would like to be in. That kind of stuck with me. And I always used to listen to her in the church, in the Baptist church. She'd get in the Baptist church and be in a choir with 40 people. And you could be sitting at the back of the church and you could hear, just like she was sitting next to you projecting. I always asked her, I said, how do you project like that? How do you... She said, you have to learn to sing from your heart and soul. Took me a while to get on. After a while, I, got used to it. And when I was about 17 years old, I went to a show, and Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson was on the show. And after seeing that show that night, Sam Cooke came on with no introduction, started singing. Nobody moved. I had never, even at church, I looked at the waitresses, everybody was like a still picture. And I had never seen that in my career. And when Jackie Wilson came on, he walked on the stage and looked left and right, and women fell out like, I said, wow, what they got, And I said that night, I said to myself, that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. I didn't know how I was going to get there in my mental. That's what I said to myself, and, it happened. It was like a dream come true, I started singing in church about 5 years old, and everything that participated in church, Easter time and special Sundays, we had to perform things. Even at, 9, 10 years old. My brother first started, he was like 6, 5 and 6, where they give you little speeches to say. But I started at a very early age and listened to all the music. And my grandfather, his name was Tate, my mother's father. And that was from Long Branch, Texas, where the church was, Corinth Baptist Church. And it was 8 boys in my grandfather's family. They all had this little book that came from Africa called the Little Book. And it was all done with a cappella music. Everybody had a note to sing, and when you sang it, you could hear the harmonies. That was before, percussions, or, before the pianos and all the stuff in the church organ. They did it just with a cappella. And when I was a young kid, I used to ride around up in Henderson, Texas, with my grandfather on 48 Humpback Ford, and be listening to Hank Williams, Jim Reeves, Marty Robinson, Hank Snow, and all those people. That's on the radio we had back then, and I love the music, because it's the same as R&B, but just change the name, with the strings and the bagpipe. Anytime I go around the world and ask people and everything, it's Archie, what's your views on the world situation? I said, the only thing that bothers me is man's inhumanity against man. We all the same, and they always say that I was going to be a preacher, this and everything. That's a job that I don't want. The hardest jobs in the world is the preacher, the teacher, and the police. If the preacher don't reach you and the teacher don't get you, you're going to end up with the police, So that's where I look at it too, and it's, it's part of life. Everything that's happening nowadays was supposed to happen, and everything. We need to wake up here in America and realize that we're supposed to be in America, the most powerful state in the world, but we got 6 million people, 60 million people living in poverty. 6 million of them are children. So it's got to be a lot of older people that's in the same way, But I take the message and trying to win people ask, but when you start talking about things like this, they tune you out. They want to talk about crazy things, things that's not important to us. Who doing this and who the greatest and who's the best. You can never be greater than all, but you can be greater than another. Well, we tighten up the vibe. We used to use tighten up as a slang word, like word up, right on, brother. We said, hey man, we got to be at rehearsal 9 o'clock. Let's tighten up, you know. Check your lady, tighten up, you know, say little things like that. But I was when we was in the studio recording tighten up, I got a letter from Uncle Sam with greetings on it. It was in August. I knew it wasn't Christmas. I said greetings, but I found out they was getting ready to, you know, draft. I had to go down and report at the draft board. About 2 months before that, I was down there with Muhammad Ali protesting, you know, about him and whatnot. And 2 months later, they had me down there. But I was at one of the most depressed time in my life. You know, I was laying on the couch and me and one of the drills was rooming together. And I was almost suicidal, you know, just at that bed. I got a chance to get a record. Now they get ready to draft me into the army. And he came in the door and the radio was playing. He started doing a little dance, and for a few minutes I forgot about my problems. You know, that's the first thing that got me. I had forgot about my problems and everything, and then, you know, I thought about it. I said, hey, that's really neat. Something must be about that. And about 2 weeks before that, we did a show in San Antonio, Texas, and I heard a disc jockey say that nothing good ever came from Texas because President Kennedy's assassination. So that's when I said, I let the people know that something did come from Texas. That's why I say, hi everybody, I'm Archie from Houston, Texas. We not on the same, but we dance as good as we want. And I want the people to know this. Just not thinking, you know, this on the humbug, just not knowing that the record would be as big as it did, because first thing, I put Houston on the world map. You know, that record went all over the world. And when I did that and everything, and I decided, hey, that's a great idea. I said, I'm gonna put Tighten Up and let it know, and not thinking like it was gonna be, you know, as big as it was. I was in New Guinea once in the rainforest. I like, you know, outdoors. I was out there with some guys. They were showing me in the area, and a guy ran out of the bush with a bone in his nose and said, Archie Bell, tighten up, and took off running. He was out there hunting birds with a blowgun, and I said to myself, as if I can be in New Guinea rainforest and a guy come out of the bush, a native, and know about me, and, you know, I know I made it then. And the night when we did the show, the whole tribe was out there, like, it was out there tightening up. Yeah. That was the most amazing thing to me. After he ran off, I just stood there, man, and I thought, and when I got back to the hotel that night, I said, I'm in New Guinea in the rainforest, in the rainforest, in the jungle, and this guy comes around. It really kind of frightened me at first, but I thought it was the guy was playing some kind of trick on me that, you know, take me on the tour. But it was really amazing. When they said that, everybody just bust out and started laughing.
That's amazing.
So Archie Bell, you know you made it.